What's up, Blue Chips? Welcome to another week. It is October 28th, and the SPY is at all-time highs. Should hopefully make for a fun morning. Let's get to it. How are all you lovely people doing this morning? I'm tired. Looks pretty dark in here today. I look kind of funny. Let's see if this light will help us out a little bit. Make myself a little bit easier to look at because we all know I'm not very easy to look at. Let's see, I was gonna get the that's a little too much. I was gonna get the green screen out, but wasn't really feeling it this morning, to be quite honest. Turn that off just for that. So we got about 4 minutes here to the bell. Really nothing on the radar. Getting tired of these lines. Got what? How many more trading days this we got? 1, 2. We got till Thursday. So Thursday will be our last day on Sterling. Not quite sure they'll do the quick transfer so that we'll actually be able to trade Friday morning, but we're gonna hope for the best. But yeah, let's go get it. I actually finally saved. I went back and found it. It was way back in there, but I found what I had said I was going to do every morning right before the bell, and I hadn't been doing it, so now I'm going to do it. It's a little clip from the trading memes over there on Instagram. Should make for a little wake-up call right before the bell rings, so I'm excited for that. Constantine, what's going on, man? Good evening to you. Hopefully we can get something for you before you go to bed. Hope all is well over there. We had like a mini monsoon yesterday. It was like everything flooded, and then the sun came out for like the rest of the day, and it all went away. It was like it never happened. Grass was pretty wet. Still is, actually. But Mr. Gifford, what's going on, man? How are you doing? So I don't really have too much on the watch list here. Let's see what some other people were looking at. Too expensive. That's why I had TIFF up there, down at the bottom. Too expensive. T. I can keep T up there. That one kind of gapped up. It's not on too much volume, though. Microsoft, as we know, that's too expensive. That was right off of GDT's watch list from this morning. PBTS. I think this is a smaller float. We don't have shares anyway. These charts are already being awesome. XNet, that's about it. We don't have shares on XNet, which kind of sucks because that was one that we would have played on Friday, and it looks like might have a chance again to play it again. This is a smaller float though. 66 mil, not too bad. This PBTS is going off on the other scanner right now. It's getting crushed. What is this? I'm scared to click it. It's a random shortcut on my other screen that was behind my scanners that says shopping. I'm scared. Let's see. It's probably from my wife. Yep. She's shopping for Christmas stuff. Marketing, what's going on, man? Bishcore, what is going on? Where am I? I am in Maryland. I am in MD, Maryland. To be more specific, I am in Annapolis area. So we got about less than 1 minute here till the bell. I'm eager to trade today. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little eager. So we're going to try to fight that FOMO a little bit. And if we do decide to FOMO, like if we see something, we're like, we got to get in, I might just go ahead and take a little bit less share size, so I don't screw myself. PBTS is something we're definitely not playing. It's a 3 mil float. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Friday night live stream was pretty awesome. I had a good time there. We were up quite a while. And that was until the World Series game was over, right? I believe. I don't remember exactly, to be honest. Here we go. Oh, I forgot the clip. Look. All right, we'll still play it. How come I have no sound? Hopefully you guys can you guys hear that? Let's get it, fellas. Let's get it. I'll do better next time. Sorry. ON. Keep an eye on this. It's got some volume coming in. Saw this on the scanner over here. What's the daily look like? It's right at a fairly decent resistance. 2030, so we're like right at it. I'd like to see this go higher though. Previous resistance right here at 20. There we go. 20 started the move point. We'll start this here at 74. Typically would probably start this with 100, but like I said, I was kind of eager. Might be a little early with this. Look to add over 21. Where did this line come from? Oh, was that the one from the daily? Oh, we'll put it back. I think it was right around there. All right, now my chart's being gay. What are we at? 74? There we go. My chart is being gay, so we're kind of playing off of the level 2 here. I wish I would have took half there. I cannot wait to get away from this. There we go. See if we can get under 50, or at least down to it again. There we go. Right, we're going to take half there just to be safe. Because we're right at that 50 area. It tried to go, there we go. It's a little bit more. Alright, we're just going to take the whole thing there and be happy with a nice first trade. Especially with the way the chart was acting up, so we'll be happy with that. What's wrong, bud? You want to get down? You made a mess. You made a yogurt mess. Oh, jeez. You made a huge mess. Oh, the perks of childcare and trying to trade the market. HUN. That's SSR. Dang, because that looks nice. Yeah, grub. Wow, look at that dip on grub and then right back up. Almost a 3.5 point move. Back up. There goes XNet. I don't like the volume here anyway. I'm not playing this SSR. Stick to the rules. XNet is actually coming down or coming back up. Looks like we made a nice cover there. Would have been nice to have started that with 100 shares, but you know, that's what it is. We wanted to make sure we weren't too early on that one because we pulled it up before it even alerted on the scanner. I've played Grub before. Not a huge fan of the volume. It's really low. Plus, that's a that's a crazy move. Almost no volume. I feel like I lost my equilibrium there for a second trying to clean up all that yogurt. You should have seen the whole front of him. I gave him a Go-Gurt. He's been getting better with them, but it was all over the front of him. Still watching OM, by the way, in the corner of my eye. Seeing if it wants to maybe give us sloppy seconds here. Stick with the same share size if we do. What did we get down to there, just out of curiosity? 32. So we weren't too far away. CGIX. I don't like the volume on it. Check it though. No shares. That's what sometimes you get these ones with lower volume. That in relative to the volume that it gets, that's kind of why it pops up on the scanner. Let's see. What I would really like to see out of ON is for it to go through High of Day and extend, like go up to like 2150. Then we'd be interested again there. But I'm not really. I've learned my lesson over and over again not to play double tops. Trying to assume a double top is no bueno. The best way to play a double top, at least from my experience, is to let it double top and then try to catch it on the way back down. But to actually, because I used to get in here assuming it was going to double top, and then it would break and go, it would break out and go High of Day and keep on going. So I don't do that anymore. I went back and realized that was a pretty big hole in my game. So like right here, we'd love to see this get through 21 and just extend. Like straight to 2150 would be amazing. But as you can see, look, it's double topping. But you can't assume that's going to happen because, again, like I said, some of my biggest losers have been from assuming a double top and then ends up being an early entry. Yeah, I keep seeing this CRSP, but I don't... Oh, we do have shares there. I thought we had already checked that. Oh, we did, but the volume. That's right. And so it was a double top. So unfortunate, we'll miss that. But again, sticking to the plan, not getting out of line. Look at this. This is an intense move. Even though it's on lower volume, look at this. Look at this squeeze. That would have been beautiful. That's one of them ones where you take half of your starter position right there, hit it, and then if it goes through 450, that just because I like the $50 areas, and you just put the other order up there over 450. So then you get filled your whole one, but at least you don't miss the move if it does this, and it uses 450 as resistance, which is exactly what it did. Look at that quick retracement. That was beautiful. Right off the scanner, you saw it. Look, it's still there because it was still such an intense move. He loves to turn that on and just leave it on. I don't understand why. The other problem with on right now is look at the volume. Now that I'm looking at it. This actually went high a day, didn't it? Yeah. A little fake out. 93, 90. Would have been nice, but again, not going to be mad. We would have been interested if this got over 21 and extended a little bit, but it didn't. Let's see if this wants to continue through VWAP and actually get lower. So it was a decent open. At least we got one play there on ON. There really wasn't anything else for us. CM is trying to go higher. What volume I search? I search pretty much everything at this point. I don't have it filtered. You can go into the scanners and actually filter the volume right here if you want, but I don't. However, I just look at it in this column right here before I usually switch over to it. If it's anything below, like especially at this point, we're at 15 minutes in almost. If we're not up over 200, 250, I'm not even going to bring it up. Yep, no problem. I mean, if you're asking like what volume I'm typically looking for, like right at the bell, I mean, I like to see at least over 100K in that bar at the bell, just to know that there's some volume there. But if we're like even 5 minutes in, I start to look for at least 200, just to know that we're actually getting some volume rolling into the stock. And then around 10 o'clock, I'm actually usually looking for upwards of over 500,000 at least as a minimum. Which is something you kind of just learn as you go and just find what you're comfortable with. Some people don't mind trading like lower volume stocks. Like Brian, one of the main guys on Team ISW, he trades lower floats. Like he traded, what was it? Where was it? No, it wasn't this one, was it? No. Was it CRSP? Isn't that what we had up? Yeah, it was CRSP. So, I mean, look at the volume on this. But he has no problem trading it because, he looks for the same things we do with those extensions from previous resistance, etc. But he doesn't mind if it's lower volume. I just don't like lower volume because I find that those tend to possibly be the grinders that we do not like. Seeing a little bit of a descending triangle here. It's using VWAP, hold itself up. Hey, mister, I hope you're on this side of that gate. Nope, sure isn't. You're going to make me be upset. Oh, you are? Okay, be careful. I'm going to be such a bad parent to all of you if my kid goes falling down the steps, but he's been doing so well, and the gate at the bottom of the steps started putting a hole in the wall. I guess from just pushing so tight against it. The drywall, I guess, was getting weak there. And me and the wife discussed it, and we said, let's just get rid of it. And I had told her, I was like, well, in the mornings when I'm trading, sometimes, he might be able to just go climb up the stairs. And she was like, well, he's been doing fine. And I was like, ugh, just see an emergency room trip coming. We know we can't play PBTS or XNet. That's why I'm not bringing them up. I mean, nothing else is really happening. We can at least just look at them. So this is bouncing off the bottom. That chart is just ugly. Look at that chart. Just grinding like both ways. It's just getting shoved both ways. It's definitely not what we look for. Went a nice clean move. I can't play XNet because I don't have shares. I don't have any shares. And I'm not about locating them, not with the share size that we use currently. Just trying. Got under VWAP there. 32 is the low. Usually sloppy seconds or a failed double top does tend to go lower. So we'll see what it does. But my guess is we're going to get somewhere down around this $20 area. That'd be pretty convenient for what we always say, huh? Previous resistance. A little sad we didn't take that second trade, but we had a plan in our mind. I even did say that, you want to confirm that it's a double top, but when it tried to double top and then came right back down, it kind of felt like it was too quick. Like it moved down too quick on us. It went from high of day back down into the 80s, like low 80s, like right away. You have easy borrows on, who do you use, Tom? I mean, every broker is going to be different. I was like, whoa, these charts look similar. Just realized they're the same chart. I thought I had pulled PCG up. Holy crap. PCG is down to almost $3. Ugh. I feel so bad for them. I mean, you have so many wildfires out there that, you're just to get blamed for one and literally destroyed their company. They were up in the 70s, yeah, and then that one wildfire happened, and then the one where they were accused almost immediately of starting it due to failed equipment. That one just destroyed them, and that one killed a lot of people. So understandably, but just wow, I that's crazy. To think of, this is where a lot of people lose a lot of money because they'll see this thing down at $5, like it was on Friday, and they'll just buy a ton of shares because there's no way a huge company like this can go out of business or turn into a stock that's only worth $1, et cetera, et cetera. But that's how a lot of people go bankrupt when a company goes bankrupt because they put all their eggs in one basket, and it turns out that they decided to go bankrupt because just wildfire after wildfire out there, man. It's crazy. Whoa. Started that way early. It's probably just different fills, but then he smashed it. CM, yeah, we looked at that one too. We didn't have shares on that one though, did we? Yeah, I didn't think so. I think that was a lower float as well. No, 43. Something we might have probably played there. I mean, that was definitely our type of play. Extend through previous resistance. No, we just didn't have shares. I remember pulling that one up now that I have it up. What's wrong? I know there's no gate there, so I know that's not why you're crying now. By the way, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, guys. I have a ton of people. I was checking the analytics over the weekend just out of curiosity, and it was like 60% of the people that watch me and my videos aren't subscribed. So get to it. What are you waiting on? What you waiting on? And always hit that ravishing like button. Hit it while you're here, right? Why not? This is what we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. We try to stream the market open. Yes, we are still using smaller share size, but hey, I'm a realist. I'm trading for myself. I'm not trading to show big numbers just to attract the wrong people. I'm here to grow and make this an actual career. So if I can earn any money while I'm learning, that sounds good to me. So the fact that we're showing signs of being profitable at this point, and we're only a year in, I'm good with that. Even if it's a small amount, we're gonna grow and scale accordingly. No rush here. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You like it, Paul? First day, what did you think? You saw it brought me right to my one trade today. Plus, XNet, if your broker had shares, this thing's been given some opportunities. CMCM, there's a couple people that traded that. Roku was another one that people traded this morning. What was another one? I didn't even look at this one. SAFM. There you go. If you're into the the higher priced ones, look at that move. Very intense move. Not on that much volume, but definitely puts out some plays, that's for sure. Also, if you're not subscribed and you don't hide when you subscribe to channels, it'll pop up and let everybody know that you subscribed. So apparently we found out, though, because somebody tried to unsubscribe and resubscribe, that doesn't work. So it's only for you new guys. It's a way of saying thank you. Not really. I don't know why it does that, but it does. Only got $6 on. Nothing else I like today. Hey, man. That's all I've played today. That was the only thing I liked that I could play. So, right there with you. I only got close to 17. I tried to be a little bit patient, but my charts were acting up. You guys saw that. It was down at 50. So my first cover probably would have been at 50 instead of 57, so we would have made a little bit more money, but not too much more. I was trying to figure out what was going on with my charts. See, Justin, I told you it doesn't work. I can see it on the other page, but it tells me when you subscribe via the YouTube notifications, but for some reason it doesn't re-register the alert. I don't know why. Because Thomas tried doing it on, I think it was Friday. Well, Paul, that makes you a very smart person. Anybody that gets the scanners, they should not be trying to use them the first day. I would say at least take a week to really sit back and just watch and learn. Just pull up the charts, get a feel for them, understand how they work, understand what you're looking at as you pull them up. So that's good on you, man. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So I always tell people to do it, but they don't always do it. So good for you. Oh, it definitely pays for itself. It definitely pays for itself. Even trading small size like I am, if you get like one or two of these trades in every day, even just making 15, 20 bucks, it's going to pay for itself. And I always say, just imagine when you start to scale up. Then it'll pay for itself in one trade. And if you start off using bigger share size, if you're someone that uses bigger share size, unlike me, then yeah, I'm on my own journey. Everybody's on their own journey in this stock market. So what was that? A Wayfair. Ugh. So we're about a half an hour in here. And again, everything kind of slowed down. It's just what happens. So we kind of sit here and just wait. Usually at this point, just like pretty much just like always, we're just letting the scanners do the work for us. So just waiting. I can't see him. He's over on the steps, scaring the crap out of me. Yeesh. People always ask me too if I have a $50 quota, why I don't try to get it in one trade. It's because I don't want to risk that much, right? Why would I want to risk losing? To make $50 in a trade, I'd have to risk upwards of like $250 most likely. Like I'd say like 150, 200 to really kind of get the position size that I want. So like to start this, if I went 150, let's pull up the calculator. So if I took 150 shares there, and my goal here was, if we go to the scanner screen real quick, you see my risk, my shares that I take based on the risk that I see on the chart. So in this case, it was about a point move when I entered. So 100 shares, but I took 75 just because I said I was going to, just to kind of ease into it this morning. So if we go back over, when we take 75 here, or we took our shares started there, but say we took 150, and so our next, we would have assumed every 25 cents. So times this by 0.25, and then times that by 2, and then add 37.5. So essentially our risk wouldn't have been too much higher. I guess it would have been, so since we under risked with 75 cents, we would have been risking a little bit more than the typical 100 that we do. But in this case, we pretty much top ticked it, and that is what it is. But sometimes that happens. You don't get the scale into the position. Because the idea is that if it keeps running, like say it went through 21, you scale in, now our average is up there closer to 21, and then we get this move down with more share size. We would have had 150 shares. So the odds are you end up making more money by scaling in. So that's the end goal. But when you top ticket like this, sometimes you only get the smaller amount because you didn't actually get to full position. since technically that's only 25% of what you're assuming is your full position. So in a way, making almost 40% of what I'm considering my quota right now at $50, that's pretty good considering we only took a starter position on the trade. That means we got a good chunk of the move. I want one more though. I want to play. Let's play. See how our other guy's doing. I don't know if I have my sound. Yeah, I do. Let's turn that off. Need to get my lockpicking lawyer video of the day. Oh, wouldn't you know it, the guy that gets all the watchers is red. At least on the one he's trading now. What is he trading? ISEE? Just FYI, CMCM. You see anything? See anything here? Previous resistance. Went through. Where'd it come back down to? Previous resistance. Use it as support. What is the play here? Is this halted? No? What's the float on this? I mean, I haven't even heard of this yet this morning, so I don't know what's going on with it. 32 mil, so it's not super low float. So this is the second time in it. Oh well. Can only try to help somebody so much. There's another guy I've been following that goes live every day too. He's definitely more so of a real trader, but he's a little boring to watch, to be honest. Brian just being a savage as usual. My on chart doesn't look as good. We'll post it in the Discord. Sounds good. Let's see it. What are you talking about? That looks perfect. That looks great. What are you talking about, man? This is exactly what I was kind of talking about. So this is Constantine's chart. So he got in a little bit early, right, at the $50 break. But that's fine as long as that was part of your plan, you know, as long as you had a plan going into this, right? So I ended up getting in later, right, because I ended up top ticking it. So the fact that you got in, you got to add in. And look at your first cover. Your first cover was under your first entry. That's beautiful. And then it started going back up against you. You got out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is perfect. I think that is a beautiful trade. No, don't say that because... Now that's a hindsight thing, because say you take your half here, right, to kind of guarantee a good trade, and we're looking at that previous resistance down here at 20. Well, who's to say that this didn't, you know, just kind of consolidate here and then continue down to 20? Like, you don't know what it's going to do. You didn't know it was going to go back to high a day, but the fact that you got out where you did and then it went to high a day, that should be reaffirming that you made a great trade. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. This is a great trade. To me, I almost feel like this is you would make more money this way trading it than the way that I did. Like, my chart might look better because my red arrow is above both my blue arrows here or whatever. But looking at your chart, you have both your red arrows, right? But then, so that means your average is up here with more size. So you have more size and you still covered down under your first entry, which is amazing. Like, that's great. That's exactly what you want. Yeah, don't think that that's a bad trade. Or not just a decent trade. That's a great trade. I wish every single one of my trades looked like that. If I could enter and then scale in, like if I could get a second ad and then always cover my half or 75% or whatever below my first entry, That's a win. That's a huge win. I think my son pooped. I can smell it. What was that up there? Was that CNET? What is this? EIX? Of course it's SSR. I was going to say the volume actually looks pretty good. Coming up to... Oh, man, look at that. Hey, man, it's what you guys get. Deal with it. You know I'm watching my kid. You can definitely smell it. It's either him or me. I might have to check. Yeah, the Browns didn't look too hot. I mean, it was the Patriots in Gillette Stadium. So, I mean, you can't expect too much of a different result most of the time that you head into there. I mean, Brady's just out there looking like he's at practice. It's kind of sad. But the Browns did not play well. I did watch that game. They did not play well. Yeah, fumbles never help. They never help. It's okay. I officially have given up on fantasy football this year. I have the most points scored, literally, in the league, and I'm in 8th out of 12. 8th place out of 12. And I have the most points scored. But I also have the most points scored against me. Like, by far. Like, it's not even close. Like, a typical week is like 80 to 90 points, I would say. Like, on average, I'd say like 80, 85 points. And I've been scoring 100. I think there was 2 weeks I didn't score 100, and one was like 89, and the other was like 93. But every other week, it's been over 100. And I've literally played. I'm now going to be 3-5-1. No, 3-4-1. Because I tied the 1 week I scored 93. But yeah, I've scored 100 pretty much every week, but I've won 3 weeks. And then all the other weeks I've played someone that scored like 140 points. Like this week I played Mike Evans and Tevin Coleman, and they had 80 points between the two of them. They had 7 total touchdowns between the two of them. It's ridiculous. It seems to be I'm always playing those 1 or 2 players that just go off that week. And then he had Aaron Rodgers too last night. And I still scored 100. I scored 103 points. Actually, I think it was more. I turned the game off at halftime. Let me see what the final was. 130.3 to 101.4. So I must have lost yards, probably on a sack or something, because I had Matt Moore and Kelsey last night. Lamar Jackson's been my number 1 QB, but they're on bye this week. But it obviously wouldn't have mattered this week. Jeez, yeah, Aaron Rodgers had 32. So Rodgers had 29.8, which is basically 30. Tevin Coleman had 35.5, and Mike Evans had 31.5. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And how do you can't beat that? His literally he had 3 people that beat my whole team. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. Freaking Cooper Kupp, man. It was like he was the only receiver on the field. It was like the only person they kept throwing it to. It's like every time I turned around, it was Kupp running down the field with the ball. Come on, give me a screamer. Oh, here, I'll give myself a screamer temporarily just to get myself happy. That's why we call them screamers, by the way. Because if you put number 9 on the alert sound, gives us that. Oh, man, we're not seeing too much else, guys. We're not seeing anything. Might have to cut this one short. Seems like CMEG never has good shorts, right? I'm still waiting for them to approve my application. You know, it's funny because a lot of plays they do, but I mean the low floaters, no. It's pretty hard to find a broker that really has a bunch of the low floaters. But there are some times where I'm a little confused because usually anything that has over 100 mil float, it's usually pretty easy to borrow. But every once in a while you get a move and you're like, why is this not easy to borrow? And it is a little frustrating. But with CMEG 2, Sterling and the DOS platform both pull from different clearing firms as far as their shorts go. So sometimes like DOS might have shares here on XNet where Sterling doesn't. Or Sterling might have shares on something that DOS doesn't. So that was why we switched to Sterling from DOS in the first place for this month. But as you can see, it still doesn't seem to make that big of a difference. And just with the charts and the loading issues and all that stuff and just missing DOS in general, I'm definitely looking forward to going back the first of the month. That is for sure. But we are growing the account, guys. We are getting up there. Let's see, where are we at now? We're at 58.69. So we're going to take a little bit of a hit end of the month, obviously. So if we take 58.69 plus, we'll just say 15, and then minus the 131, right? 99 plus 35. That'd be that's not right. 130 or 134? Yeah, 134. Oops. So we'll be at 57.50 if the month were to end today. So hopefully we can make $250 by Thursday. Because Friday is supposedly the day we're going to switch, the first of the month. So first of the month, we might not be trading, just depending on if they send us or they switch over the account funds to DOS and get us back on the old platform. So we'll see. So we got the rest of the week. Never know. Maybe we'll try to stretch our dollar a little bit. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we'll see. Tuesdays and Thursdays typically aren't my favorite days, just because of the kids. I have both of them, so it's a little bit harder to pay attention. Giga? No, I don't get anything free. I wish there was some free stuff. I actually had asked them when I first signed up as an affiliate with them if I could have free platform, but next month will be free platform, because if you switch to DOS, as of today, if you still want to switch to DOS, they'll give you $90 off, which is the platform fee for DOS next month. I'm guessing that's kind of like a promotion thing they're doing just to get people to switch over. But apparently it said it was just for November, and it had to be done by October 28th. So next month we'll only be paying $35 for the market data. So that'll be nice. What's wrong, bro? What's wrong? Where's the track at? Did mommy put it away? Oh, you already have it. It's right there. You got the track right there. What? You want me to come play with you? Come here. Did you put these? Let me see. Sit up. Oh, yeah. I will go ahead and put the scanners up for you guys, and I will be right back. Got to go do daddy stuff. So, be right back. All right, everybody, I am back. We'll leave it up here on the scanners for a second. Kind of catching up on some text. Checking up on the Discord. So, what'd you guys trade today? Anything good? See, XNet and PBTS are getting crushed, huh? Let's see, XNet, PBTS. Yeah, they're not looking too hot. It's kind of funny, PBTS, if you look at that previous resistance from pre-market. It's kind of funny. Man, eating better makes you want to eat more. I'll tell you that. I'm already getting hungry. Would you guys rather me keep the scanners up, or would you rather me put my trading screen back up? 1 for trading screen, 2 for scanners. If you are going to leave me, hit that like button on the way out. I just saw somebody leave, but the like button went up. Got one answer. I don't think that the like button actually does anything for the live streams, but in the off chance that it helps maybe possibly bring somebody to us, just to let them see something raw and legit, as I like to call it. I don't really think I ever call it legit, but it's like when I spread these out, it's like, did I really have them spread out that far? So XNet trying to go back up here. As you can see, it made a move. Now it's kind of bouncing off of this previous support down here. Raw Dog Trading. That'd be an interesting channel name. I wonder if they would even allow it. I actually came across a channel that went ahead and they went through, and this obviously isn't every word, but they went and tested them. So let me see if that's one of them. That this is what gets, like, if you put these words in your title, it'll demonetize your video. Raw. So no, they didn't try that one. That'd be an interesting one to try though. So I'm sure you guys know at this point, I had told you guys that my wife got a pretty decent raise this year. Well, apparently she's finding out through the grapevine that a lot of people didn't get raises this year. And I was like, whoa. I was like, awkward. It's like, what do you say in return? NLS. It's me, it's like, I'm not going to lie, but maybe I just wouldn't tell them how much. Because usually I don't really care to say that information, but maybe just like wait a little while, maybe till after they get their Christmas bonus, so that they're not as upset. I'm going to ask her what she's been telling them. NLS. Didn't I just pull that up? Yeah, I didn't. It's not a lot of volume. Like I said, see, like it's 1030, and that only has 374,000 volume, so it's kind of pointless to even pull that up regardless. Plus, it's a lower float than we like. And on top of that, it's just not our play. Low price, low float. Man, oh man, I just want one more play. Give me one more play. I was hoping to get a play before 11 o'clock. If not, might have to go start some lunch because I am starving. Like I was saying earlier, I started eating better, and now I'm getting hungry earlier. Took a small hit in the futures. Conflicting signals, discretion being the better part of valor. I'm calling it a day to study this after the close. It happens, man. You know that. It's part of it. All you can do is study, learn from it, and move forward. But you seem to already know that, so get to it. Be the hard ass on that one. I don't need to explain it to you because you already know. Which eventually, that's kind of what I want this channel to be. I want people to know that they can come here, and I don't really have to tell them anything. They're just kind of watching for entertainment because they already know what's going on. That's the whole point, is once you're here long enough, you start to just see that it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. So if you're looking for a channel that's going to do something crazy and outlandish every single day and trade penny stocks and possibly go broke every single day, then you know this isn't the channel for you, because that's not what we're about. We're here to make money. We're here to be profitable. Same difference for the most part. Same thing for the most part. We're here to learn every single day. We want to learn something. Yeah. That's pretty much the goal, right? You learn something new every day, and you try to be profitable. You trade the best setups. You don't FOMO. You don't trade random, because if you trade random, you get random results, right? So let's stick to the edge and the strategy that we know is going to give us the best probabilities of a winner, right? So let's just stick to that. It's that simple. As long as you can be disciplined and have the emotions to stay away from the setups that you know aren't good, you should be all right. If you backtest a strategy, you perfect that strategy, and it's a profitable strategy, and you only trade that strategy, you should be profitable. It's that simple. But if you trade random things and you have 50 different strategies, then you don't have even one of them perfected, so you're choosing quality over quantity, then you're just not going to make it. It really is that simple. Paul, I told you. I've been trying to tell people that with these scanners, it's a time thing, right? So whatever they don't pay for, totally drawing a blank on the word, I'll say financially, but I know there's a better word for that. Whatever they don't pay for in the terms of what you pay for them outright money-wise, they pay for in time. Like, you don't have to go back all night and all morning and find stocks to trade every day. You literally just show up like I do every day at 9:25, which is mainly because of the kids, and just let the scanners do the work for you. They tell you what's moving and what's not. It's that simple. But hey, if people still want to, go through and they say, a lot of people get into trading to get away from the 9-to-5 job, right? And work 40 hours a week. What do they end up doing? They end up 4 or 5 hours at night, and then when they wake up in the morning, another 1 to 2 hours. So right there, that's like 5 to 7 hours that you just put in, and you haven't even traded. Like, to me, it's just baffling. I used to be one of them. It was a little different for me because I was home anyway, and I was just using my personal free time that I had to do that stuff. But when I came across the scanners and I was just like, holy crap, I see this strategy that a lot of people are scared to do because of how terrifying it can be. And sometimes it still is. Like when you get into these trades, sometimes on the front side, it doesn't mean it's over, right? It can keep going, and it gets your heart going, right? And it reminds you of Wolf of Wall Street. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. No, there's a difference, Boyds. There's a difference between studying and, I'll say, charting. People will literally go through, like, they'll take previous day runners, or like they're looking for diamonds in the rough and stuff. So they'll just go through charts over and over again looking for plays for the next day. Now, if you've made trades, or you're looking at past trades, or you're looking at possible like misses that you had, and you're actually studying them for your strategy or your edge, that's completely different. You should definitely study. I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, when you have a strategy and you have an edge in place, you don't need to go the extra 10 miles to find those. These scanners will do it for you. As long as your strategy does involve intensity, because that's intensity stockwatch scanners. That's kind of the premise behind the scanners, is to find the intensity. However, they do have other things like the Bear Scan Watch List, which is one of the main reasons people buy the scanners. The Bear Scan Watch List literally does all that work for you for people that are looking for the day before, or the previous day runners, looking for those to be done, and like looking for that first red day. That's essentially what the Bear Scan Watch List is for. So you don't have to remember all those things. You can just check out the Bear Scan Watch List every morning. You study how to bottom tick every stock, like as in on like as a swing trader. Saw Xnut doing something again. It's the flavor of the day. So you're pretty close to bottom ticking every stock throughout the day. So do you have what's the strategy there? Are you only looking to like trade stocks that are on an uptrend? Are you looking for stocks that are bouncing off of a huge down move? Trying to think of different ways that you would look for a bottom tick, especially day trading. A magic indicator. The Holy Grail. Be careful, Boyts. You're going to get a lot of people sliding up in your DMs, if you know what I mean, looking for that Holy Grail. All of those Holy Grail posts, they get my blood flowing. There was one earlier I had read. It led me to, I don't even remember. It was, I guess, their website. But it literally, their sales pitch was, sign up for our alerts that we give every day that are guaranteed to make you money. And it was just like, okay, that guy should be in jail. Just throw it out there. I'm going to guarantee that you make money off of my alerts. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. One, because you probably aren't legally allowed to even say that. But the other, the real reason of why I was saying it is because that's just not possible. There's no way you're 100%. And on top of that, even if somebody follows you into a trade based off your alert, they're probably not going to trade it the same way you are. Like ON over here. As you saw with Constantine earlier, we have the same strategy for the most part, right? But look how differently we traded it. Everyone's going to trade different, even if you have the same strategy, because everyone has different emotions. I say it all the time. Emotions are 75 to 80% of the battle. Maybe even more. Because once you get to a point where your strategy is just your strategy and you see it happening on the chart, it really comes down to the emotion. Am I going to hit it now? Am I going to wait? Am I going to wait till after my target? Like, does it look like it's going to run past where I wanted to get in? Should I let it run? Oh crap, it's falling back down. I should have got in. Do I get in now? Like, there's so many emotions as a stock is moving, let alone if you're playing these high intensity moves. You don't have that long to think about it, right? You got to make those reaction type plays to really do your strategy, right? If you're playing that way. So there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of it is emotions. A lot of it's emotions. That's why you see a lot of people that trade on paper or demo accounts, the emotion's not there. So they have no problem hitting the button. And when it comes down to it, like if you're practicing my 1-1-2 strategy on paper, you have no problem hitting that one, the first ad, and then the second ad for double the share size, because there's no emotion there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not your real money, so there's no emotion. So that's why a lot of people kill it on paper, because there's no emotion behind it. But the minute that you go live and you throw the emotions behind your trading, that's where the magic happens. So we're going to give it, I don't know, we'll see. I was thinking 10 minutes, but 10:50 is kind of awkward. Maybe we'll go to 11. Lately, we've been getting some moves later, closer to 11 o'clock, so maybe we'll wait till 11. Just trying to be patient, and that's the other thing. A lot of people forcing trades, even some really big name gurus. You can have a big week, and then you can get humbled very quickly. Because you start swinging for the fences, and it'll bite you. It'll bite you real hard. If your opportunity and if your strategy and your edge is not there, don't trade. Don't trade. Cash is a position, right? Winning and losing $0 on the day is exactly that, $0. But if you force trades and you end up losing, then you just went backwards for the day. For what? Because you wanted the trade. That should never be a reason to trade. Oh yeah, that last ad, it definitely gets you going. Well, I will say, and that's another thing, if you really get the heart pumping, like super pumping, like holy crap, I'm about to cry if this goes against me, even like a little bit, you need to down your share size. It's that simple. Cut it in half. Like if you're at 100, 100, 200 for your 1-1-2, if you're using that strategy, cut it to 50, 50, 100. And immediately you will feel a sense of relief with your emotion. You can actually trade the strategy, trade the chart. Whereas if you're literally hitting 100, 100, 200, and you're like you're watching that P&L like a hawk, you're too high on the share size. So you really need to hone that in. And that's kind of where I'm at, because I kind of came to a conclusion that where my emotions feel comfortable, as well as I can still try to hit my $50 a day. If we were to get 2 or 3 trades, the goal here is to get 2 or 3 trades a day to get us to that $50, right? So if we made $17 times 3, we're at $51, right? I did that in my head before that, but I was just for visual sake. So like, let's say we're making 25 a trade and we times it by 3, it's $75, which is, again, even if we only make 25 over 2, it's 50. So that's really what we're shooting for. We're not trying to make this all in one trade, because when we do come to that like 10% that we do lose and we end up, say, hitting our max loss, if we don't get lucky and it's a smaller loser, then, that kind of bites, right? So the idea is to really limit your risk. It's that simple. If you're looking to, I always say too, if you're looking to make $50 a day, you shouldn't be losing more than $50 a day. So you should really be fluctuating. But if you're taking big enough size to try to make $50 in a day with this 1-1-2 strategy, a lot of times if it keeps going against you, it grinds higher or whatever, you're not just going to lose that $50. You're going to end up losing like $100. And that's kind of where I'm at, to be honest. And it's sometimes it's hard to figure it out. But I just came up with my little system a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago, where we have a much better system as far as our entry goes, and it puts us at a much better risk level each trade. So we don't have to necessarily confuse ourselves as we're trying to enter. It's one less thing to confuse ourselves with as we are looking to enter the trade. Learn to lose. That's, I mean, yeah, $50 and feel good, then bump it up to 75. Yeah, well, that's the idea. As we watch XNet squeeze here, see if it gets right to high a day. This is a pretty intense move. Look at this. So from down here, we'll say at like $6, this is going to go all the way to 680. So that's a huge move considering the moves it's made earlier. And to get ourselves at a high of day, I would love if I could play this for this to go through 680 on this little bump and get up into like the 690s, and I would start this because it already made a huge move to get to this point. But that's just me. And it is trying to do these like little 3-bar plays here where it's just consolidating small. Okay, here we go. See if we can get up there. Just to see what we mean. But yeah, learning to lose is the biggest thing. I don't know if you were here, Paul, when the multiple times I've went back to my MTSI trade and why I took the month of June off. But it was to learn how to lose. If you don't know how to lose, that's probably the biggest thing in trading is learning how to lose. So this doesn't even want to give us the extra bump that we would have wanted. We would have wanted some kind of a double top / fake out, like double top fake out. It's a pretty decent pullback, but I still think we might get it. This thing seems to be squeezing a little bit. I have plenty of losing videos. Just go to my channel and search red or lost. They're there. I put my videos out every single day, so there's nothing to hide. That's why I love putting the video out every day. There's literally no possible way that I can hide anything. And the days that I didn't put videos out, I will go into my account statements to show you that like I didn't trade or whatever the case might have been that day. And like if I trade after this, like I'm done streaming or whatever, like I usually post it on Twitter, whatever it is, like you guys figure it out. I don't hide anything. That's the whole point of this channel, is knowing that you guys can come here and know that you're getting the truth, the transparency, just everything about a channel I try to strive to be a channel that I wish was out there when I first started trading. And just even now, I wish there were more channels like me. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just stating the obvious and the truth. I wish there was more channels like me where I can go watch and just know that what I'm watching is 100% real, and just know that the information that people may be giving me is exactly that, 100% real and the truth. Because there is none of that in this industry, like at all. Everyone's out to make a buck. That's all it is. Yeah, we're here to make a buck, but we're here to make it from the market. I'm not here to make it from you guys. If you guys want to help out, that's up to you guys. If that's your way of saying thank you, then that's awesome. This does take a lot of work, but I found that I was pretty much recording my trades anyway. So I was like, hey, let's make a channel. Let's do it the way that I just explained and see if it goes somewhere. And so far, it's been pretty good. Been very happy with the engagement that we get, and I'm attracting the type of people that I was looking to attract. And I like to call us the 10%, right? 90% of people fail. We're here to make everyone realize that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is not a get rich quick thing. Everybody that tries to get rich quick and follow all those gurus that say they can get rich quick, they're the 90%. They're the ones that end up losing a bunch of money all at once and quit. And then go back to doing whatever they were doing before they stumbled upon a YouTube video that ended up losing them $25,000. Jack, yep, I appreciate that. It's the truth that I tell the truth. I mean, you guys can go back and fact check me all you want. And I always tell everybody, if you think that I'm saying something that isn't the truth, let me know. And if it isn't, we're going to figure out what the truth is. Because that's what I always tell everybody. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Because if I don't know the answer, that's a good thing. Because then we're going to learn together. I love learning together. Because the more people we have, the more we can learn. You can bounce ideas off of each other. it's just a better overall feeling to be part of a community, because you know that at any time you can just bounce ideas off of each other. You can, if you have a trade, and like in the Discord channel, Constantine just used it. He was the first one to use it. There's a channel that says get your trade reviewed. If you have a trade that you are curious, like if you could have played it better, how you could have like lost less, how you could have made more, maybe what you should have done instead of what you did do. Like if you're just looking for ideas based off around your strategy, take a screenshot of the chart, post it in there, tell us exactly what you're looking for as far as like getting it reviewed. And that's what it's there for. We'll jump in there, people will jump in there and give you our thoughts. He just had a bag of pretzels and it just went everywhere. You ready? Here's my thing. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. That was definitely not his voice, but you get it. And, Paul, it couldn't be further from the truth. It couldn't be closer to the truth that people can't handle the truth. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Yeah, did you spill them everywhere? Da, 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 da. Hold on, I'm trying to do something. I actually got flagged on Friday's live stream because I played that Shark Tank bit. So I'm hoping it doesn't do it for this, but.
Ask for a recess? I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
If Lieutenant Kendrick gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, then why did he have to be transferred? Colonel, Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do. Object! And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose! Your Honor, you had Marcus inside a phony transfer. Your Honor, you doctored the logbook. Damn it, Captain! You coerced the doctor.
Consider yourself in contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls...
I'll leave it there. If you guys haven't watched that movie, you need to watch it. That's one I grew up watching over and over again. It's such a good movie. Just all of them guys, young, in their primes. I mean, granted, Tom Cruise is still in his prime, I guess. That dude just doesn't quit. But just such a good movie. And yes, Jack, on was my trade. We got that pretty much right at the bell. I think this was on the 9:30 candle, yep. It was at 9:31 and 39 seconds. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Tom Cruise doesn't age because he's so tiny. I swear, smaller, like if the lower height people, including myself, I'm only 5'9", but I think he's like 5'4". Like I remember he's 5'7" actually. I thought he was smaller than that. There's some movies back in the day where they would literally put him up on a prop. Especially, actually, I think Top Gun was one of them. Because Nicole Kidman is 5'11". So, like in a lot of his scenes, they would have to prop him up so that it didn't look like she was that much taller than him. For anybody that didn't know, fun fact. You're so funny. Guess I'm doomed. How tall are you? How tall are you, Paul? Well, Exonet ended up making the move we wanted back down towards VWAP. It just didn't quite get up the high day. You're 6'4". I mean, have you ever noticed, though? Like, you don't really see a lot of taller people live, like, really long. I'm not trying to like scare anybody, but it's kind of the truth, right? You don't really see people like mid 6 foot and higher live that long. They just don't. I don't know if it's just because they run into like problems with their body a lot sooner. I don't know. I don't know if there's any kind of scientific reasons behind it, but it just seems to be the case. I mean, I'll tell you what though, I still wish I was 6'4". There's sometimes like I'll stand up. Well, they also don't live on an American diet, Mr. Gifford, so maybe that's the real problem. I'm speaking out of my ass. Like I said, it's just something that I kind of noticed growing up, because one of them things that you just kind of believe as you're growing up, and then it just kind of sticks with you. And then you like think about it every once in a while, and you're like, yeah, I don't really know any like really old, tall people. Cheeseburgers are delicious. They are. 5'3"? Ouch. I mean, to be honest, like I'm 5'9". I'm literally 5'9" and like 11 inches. So I'm like that close. And I always say it would be so much cooler to be 5'10" because it's just the double digits there. But I sometimes like I step on like a step ladder or something like that's 6 inches off the ground or whatever. And I'm like, holy crap, this is what it would be like to be 6'4". And it's like, I wish I was 6'4". It's like a whole different view of the world. It's like you can like see over that shelf instead of looking up at that shelf. Like that's 6 inches. That's what matters. That's what she said. AA. Devin said he's short AA at 72. Nice. We got in up here. How tall are you? I always thought you were smaller, to be honest. Talking to somebody in Team ISW that's obviously in the stream. Every bit. People ask me to grab things off the top shelf all the time. No lie, I asked them to grab me something off the bottom shelf. Oh, that's great. How tall? Don't just tell me taller than you. You and your passive-aggressive answers. Yeah, you're 5'9". I'm taller than you. Well, how tall are you? Taller than you. 5'10" and 1 inch. Taller than Thomas. Thomas is pretty tall. You're 5'10". Are you making fun of me, or are you really 5'10"? Because then I'll just be jealous. Even of just 1 inch. I think 11 o'clock's going to do it. Doesn't seem like anything's going to be popping. 5'11". So you kind of have the same thing. Like you wish you were that 1 inch taller. Yeah. I missed it by 2.1 inches. 2 point whatever 1/12. 2 and 1/12. It's an inch or a mile. You know what they say. What? What did he put in there? Oh, until course. GTD. What is that? Oh, I'm an idiot. You just can't spell. They're making fun of me in the chat for being small, apparently. I feel like I'm average, right? Let's see. Average height for a man. 5 feet 9 inches. I'm literally as average as they come. let's see, for a woman, 5 feet 4 inches. So my wife is literally above average by an inch. Below average. You're a jerk. Average something else. According to the team's analysis, the average something else is I'm above average. I'm not even going to get into that. The average weight. I wonder what the average weight. Average American. The average American man, 20 years old, weighs 198 pounds. Are you kidding me? With an average of 5'9", 198 pounds. That is disgusting. That's disgusting. I'm actually above that, which is not good at the moment. But just knowing that that's average. Whew. That's scary. The weight was 198. Now, there's no rabbit holes today. I'm about to get out of here and make me some lunch. I'm actually going to go start the oven real quick. Well, it's because you're a chicken. And that's what I'm about to eat. Want some rice, bud? Yeah, I'll make you some rice. All right, what's the YOLO of the day? What are we all going to YOLO real quick? So what's the most active? XNet? So if anyone could guess, let's play a game. If anyone could guess what XNet's going to do the rest of the day, what do we think it's going to do? Because this is about as 50-50 as it gets. This thing could clearly curl up here, bounce off, or try to bounce off VWAP for the most part, and go high of day and just keep going. Or it could just, if you really want to look, it could be a bouncy ball, right? This could almost be the overall sloppy seconds. Let's look at it on the 5 minute real quick. So in a sense, this is kind of like sloppy seconds, right? Get the big move up, comes down, bounces back up, makes a lower high, coming back up again after it bounced back down. So as long as we don't get over this high, you would think that this is going to continue down. If we can get back under $6 here, obviously the key break point is here, right around 560, like the 560 area. And I wouldn't even really consider this. But it could be, because what was this? Right? It tried to break 50. Yeah, it got down to 38. So really the 60 area down to 50, that's really the key 10 cents of this whole stock right now, as well as going up. So you might kind of sit in a range here. So high of day we got sitting here at 683. So as you can see, we're in a range. We've been in this range since this morning, pre-market, right? That's a 5 minute. Let's go back to the 2 minute. So it's really kind of a guessing game, right? That's why we don't play these. You're literally, like, if you were to play this stock right now, you're literally guessing. You're guessing. You're assuming you don't really have a strategy, unless you do have a strategy, but I don't really know what kind of strategy you could have here, unless your strategy is hoping, and then feel free to hope. But that's not for me. If anything, I'd rather, like, obviously I wouldn't play this, but I'd rather play something like this. I mean, look at this. It just keeps making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And it's just trying to ride VWAP. So eventually you can look to kind of use this as a risk, this 2070 area, looking for this to dive down and eventually come back down to that previous resistance that we like to look for, or at least try to get down here towards the low of day. Well, not low of day, but the low of this candle here, which is 2032. So you're trying to get like 1.5 to 1 on your risk to reward ratio. And as you can see, it's actually kind of trying here. But I'd much rather play something like that than play a guessing game on something that's also traded. What is this thing traded today? 43 million shares already. This is traded, and it's got a 66 mil float. But the thing is, it's all traded in the same range. So this thing's going to break hard one way or the other eventually at some point in the day. So again, you're right in the middle of the range right now. You're literally guessing. So that's why this is an absolute no-go. Where some people were, they're coming inside the range, right? And they're looking for scalp plays or, like more micro type plays. Looking for, the pop up towards the top of the range, try to get back down towards the bottom of the range, which obviously it didn't get there. And then some people might be playing, okay, we're playing the VWAP bounce, or they might have been looking to play a VWAP fade in this area because, look, it even tried and then it went through, it failed. So, again, those strategies are so 50-50 to me that that's why I don't play them. I used to play them all the time, and that's why I don't play them anymore, because it's a guessing game. We're not here to guess. We're here to put ourselves in the highest probability setups. And I did just make a video, it was last week, I think, or the week before, on probabilities. It got some decent views, but it didn't get that many. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's a very valuable video that I made. It was basically a little PowerPoint presentation. Watch it 1.5 speed, but just listen to it. It really breaks it down well. It gives you the idea of what you should be looking for emotionally while trading. A lot of it has poker references, so if you're into poker, it'll be easy to listen to. That's really what it comes down to, guys. But if I were to YOLO this thing, I would say it's going to go higher because nothing else is really moving. So that'd be my guess. It's already up 32%. We know these things can really run. The float's not too bad, so it's not going to make like probably a huge move like it did at the bell here, just because the volume's not going to really come in. It's also coming up on lunchtime. So it really depends on who wants to go to lunch first. Do the Bulls want to go to lunch first, or do the Bears want to go to lunch first? But if I had to guess, since the bell, it's been making lower highs. But since here, and that's the other thing too, some people, if you're a very biased trader, like say you're bullish, you're very bullish biased, you're going to see that this thing is making lower highs or higher lows. If you're a bearish biased trader, you're going to see that this thing's making lower highs. So it really depends on how you look at it. Because, I mean, you can draw a trend line here, and you can draw a trend line here. So you, if you want, you could draw like a little pennant type thing and look for it to squeeze. But again, even if it does right in the middle of this range, you're still in the middle of this range. So it's, I don't laugh at the people that play these, but at the same time, it just makes no sense to me. I mean, because it's guessing. I mean, granted, a lot of playing the market, you are in a sense assuming something's going to happen, but this is a very 50-50 type assumption versus when I'm playing something like this over here on ON, I have statistical proof that it's 85% plus that I know what it's going to do. Not know what it's going to do, but have an assumption and a good probability of what it's going to do. So what would you rather play? Would you rather play something that you know that you're going to be right 85-90% of the time? Or would you rather play something that is literally a coin toss? I mean, that's how I look at it. So with that said, I don't really have anything else for you guys. Do you have any questions? I'll give you 2 minutes here. I know that I'm fairly caught up on the stream. I was kind of just checking it out. I'll give you 2 minutes till 11:10. Ask any questions. We'll obviously keep it going past then if we have questions to answer. But if not, I'm going to get out of here. And we'll be back on Wednesday morning to do this all over again. And yeah, a lot of people ask me if I'm going to be doing this every morning. I always tell them Monday, Wednesday, Friday I can do it right now because I only have one kid. The other one's in school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Come February, as of right now, is when we're looking to send him full time. So we might be able to do it, every day when that comes. But as of right now, we're sticking to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and here goes XNet. So now we're not necessarily getting that bouncy ball anymore, right? We're not getting the sloppy seconds. This is coming up and trying to test and go higher than that bounce. So if that were the case, it would essentially break that trend, right? It's going to break this downwards trend, which could cause, if it gets above this area, a little bit of a squeeze, at least the high of day. And then when we get to high of day, if it could end up everybody stopping out, that was short, looking for this thing to fade the rest of the day. And now that it's not, but it looks like a bunch of sellers are stepping in here anyway. And that's the other thing too. You have a lot of longs that got in up here. They FOMO'd in looking for this thing to go up towards $7, and it didn't. So they were underwater. And if they held all the way through this, when it finally gets back up near their average, like even now in this sloppy seconds, they might have held looking for it to go up to try to make profit. They got greedy, and then it got shot back down. And then when it finally comes up this last time, the odds are you're going to run into a bunch of people that were in over here long looking to just sell somewhat near break even. So you got to remember, there's so many different ways. You always have to understand every possible side of everything. And one of the biggest things you can learn in life is if somebody tells you something, put yourself in their shoes, right? Before you answer, put yourself in their shoes. And it's the same way with trading. If I'm going to short here, I have to think what longs are doing here. If I'm going to long here, I have to think what shorts are going to be doing here, or the longs that are looking to sell. Like, you should always kind of have an idea. And again, that just comes from experience, from waking up, trading every day, seeing the same thing every single day over and over again. You just start to learn it and you start to see it over and over again. So a lot of the, and look at this, it got shot right back down. So it could have just been short sellers holding it down, saying we need to hold it down here because if it gets above this area, shorts are going to start to cover and squeeze and go high a day and get, turn into a short squeeze. Or it could be partly that. It could also be partly the longs that were underwater and they're just looking to get out break even. There's so many factors into this. But when you're in a range like this, especially when the float of something of like 60 million has traded itself pretty much already, and you're in a range, it's probably not a good thing. Spot. Nice. Let's see. Is that two separate trades, Constantine? Or did you like take half and then you added back in? I like that trade. It's a little too pricey for me. I like how the volume kind of came in where you got in. I probably wouldn't have played this, but I do like the extension away from this previous resistance and the volume came in, so I don't dislike that play at all. But yeah, that was nice. All out and all in again, nice. Paul, see the ETB down here, like on Spotify? The ETB will be there if it's easy to borrow. Like it's over here on ON as well. And then over here on XNet. See how it's not there? Yeah, well, Spotify is a much bigger float. What is the float? One spot. Yeah, 111 million. So it's not as big as I thought. I actually thought it was bigger than that. I thought it was 300. But yeah. Some of these higher price stocks, sometimes they just move a lot slower because they're just less traded. Because the higher price stocks, a lot of people think they can't afford it, which I can't at the moment. I just don't. I mean, granted, I could get in with like 10 shares to start a position, but to me, I'd rather not have to worry about buying power issues. So for now, I just stay away from them. That's why I have my second scanner set to only go up to $80 just to be safe. And that's why, like, if you go over to my scanner screens, you'll see I have everything laid out for how many shares I could take if I really wanted to at a specific price range. Nice. Yep. And by the way, Constantine, if you like the trade and you don't want it reviewed, just post it in the chart porn channel, not the get your trade reviewed. The first one I actually kind of liked because you thought you traded it bad or whatever, but I thought that was a great trade. But yeah, that second one, I think that was pretty standard for you for the most part, and it looks nice. I don't think you were really like looking for feedback per se. But all right, anybody got any other questions? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys are awesome. I'll give you guys one more minute. We'll go to 11:15. I'm gonna go throw my chicken in. Be right back. If I don't come back to any questions, I'm gonna get out of here. It's been nice knowing you until Wednesday morning. And if not, then yeah, when you get into a position, do you get in on the bid? Pretty much most times, yes. The only time I usually put an order out on the ask or above the current ask is if I'm looking to add to a position. But usually I'm feeling the stock out when it's making the intense move. And I'm really trying to feel when the momentum kind of dies out at the top of the move. So that was kind of what I did over here on ON. And I was close, but I was a smidge early. But a lot of people will use time and sales to do that. But I don't really need time and sales anymore, because you'll start to learn that time and sales is pretty much just the candle visualized. So eventually you start to realize that you can just look at the candle and kind of feel the time and sales happening. The other thing too is, as you'll see on DOS when I switch back, I have a line. It's called the last price line that kind of moves with the price. Like on here, it's this little bar here that says the current price. But I like the line that just goes straight across, because that also helps me kind of visualize it a little bit more. All right, be right back. What you got? You working on the tools? I'm going to come play with you in a second. All right, no other questions, guys. I'm going to get out of here. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down below when this finally processes. Jump in the Discord. It's a lot easier that way if you want to. And as you can see, XNet's just chilling in the middle of this range, just like we said it probably will. But if I had to guess again, I would still say that this is probably going to go higher. It seems to be getting held up here as best as it can. It's spending a lot more time in the top of this range now than it is in the bottom. So I would definitely look for this to probably move up. But that's the beauty. Who knows? That's just an educated guess. I will catch you guys Wednesday morning. I'm going to go ahead and put the trade video out from ON from this morning. And tomorrow, good luck as well. And I'll see you guys Wednesday morning. Peace.